Fuck it, let's do it live.
Hey, I love Bill O'Reilly. Everything he says is accurate. And I agree with him on everything.
And that's how we ended your career.
Yeah, there we go.
Brilliant. That's all we needed. Job done. If I can't outdo the competition, I'll just get them cancelled. That's how we work in this Phantom. Hello, my name's Artemis, and I'm here with...
Giorgio! It's Giorgio here. Listen, it's Giorgio.
Did you get that? It's Giorgio. Good job you said that, because I forgot. And we're going to see if I can do an interview without constantly talking about feet.
Good luck.
I've already failed, because I've already brought it up, but we'll get into that. But yeah, hello, Giorgio. It's very nice to have you here. If you're watching this video, it also means that he has interviewed me. So you should definitely go and check out my Fansly and my OnlyFans before you check out his channel.
Okay.
I need the money, bitch. I'm broke. But yes, we're going to see if we can do an interview. I prepared some questions in my head, and by some questions, I mean probably two. And beyond that, we're going to see if my improv skills can keep up. So I think we'll go with a nice, easy softball kind of question just to get you into the vibe of things. In your opinion, would a two-state solution be the ultimate way to achieve peace in the Middle East? Or is it all just inherently fucked because of Christian nationalism? As a follow-up note, what size shoe do you wear?
11.5, and I'm receiving too much money from APAC to comment.
You know what? I appreciate the honesty, and it's very nice of you to represent all of the MAGA furs with that response.
You're welcome out there.
You have a very good style on the YouTube stuff. A lot of people might know about me. I don't really watch a lot of furry YouTube, but I have been sent this person's videos, and I did watch them, and I was like, oh, someone sent me a furry video that I don't hate. That doesn't happen very often. So that's a badge of honor in and of itself. So how did you get into making YouTube stuff, and how would you really attribute your style, do you think?
You know, I'm looking for shit to do alone in my apartment, and instead of masturbation, I got my MacBook webcam, and I sat in front of it, and I presented my MacBook footage to the commoners of YouTube land, and they brought it to YouTube City Council, and they said, can we enshrine this in the YouTube state constitution? And here I am now. If you watch my videos, you will see very obviously who I take inspiration from.
Me.
Yes, but also, people say that I have a chaotic editing style, and they're right. And if you watch somebody like Antonio Garza, or Done Can You Not, or World of Extra, then I will seem way less cool because it will be very apparent that I just steal their chaotic editing style. When you don't have talent and you're not very funny, you just make a lot of pop-ups with a lot of loud noises. And that's what I love doing in my videos. I have so many memes, and the Vine Boom sound effect competes with my fiance for my love.
Fair enough. I feel like you're kind of calling me out because I do the exact same thing. But then again, we're all guilty of the same level of sin. And that's not exactly a bad thing. So I'll accept that as a viable answer. You mentioned stealing content because you don't have any talent. Is there any specific people you'd like to call out for doing that by reading furry memes? Or have you done that enough lately?
Oh my goodness. You can look at my channel and see a black and white dog that sounds like Michael Scott from The Office. Live streaming furry TikToks for upwards of an hour on YouTube, if you would like to. But right here, right now, no, I have no call-outs.
Oh, such a shame.
I know. I'm getting too much money from the Heritage Foundation to comment on queer things.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Down with those disgusting LGBTQIAs, right? Speaking of shamelessly exhibiting your kinks for views, you interviewed a lot of people and spoken about your own closeted, not so closeted kinks.
Yes.
Do you tend to feel like this is a very shameless way of making content, or do you recognize the fact that no one's actually going to watch if you have something important to say, and sometimes you've got to balance out the importance with essentially porn?
Well, can't it be both? Can I have a little bit of fun, and can't I also retain people's attention by throwing in the silly muscle-inflaty dragon man, or by interviewing a fat fur, or by yelling about porn artists for 15 uninterrupted minutes in my guest bedroom? You know, I love making my videos, and yes, I do want to get that bag, even though my videos aren't monetized in any way. So, you know, It's a little bit of both for me.
You say that you don't monetize the videos. I actually don't monetize mine through YouTube because I don't like the idea of people watching ads, especially for my shit. Plus, I run my own, so there you go. Do you tend to do this because you realize that with the amount of views you get, you probably end up paying more in taxes than you'd ever earn, or is it because of some other faux stand that you're taking?
If I monetize my videos, it means that they will need to be reviewed by a staff member from YouTube state capital, right? And Governor YouTube himself will have to watch the video and he'll have to review it with YouTube's, rules and guidelines about what kind of stuff they can and can't monetize. And they say that you can't monetize, nor can you upload in any fashion, bullying or vulgar content or anything that's pornographic. Otherwise, we will banish you to the YouTube dungeon and you will not be allowed to make any more videos. So I don't monetize my videos because I feel like that's the only way for them to continue existing. The moment that I have YouTube review my stuff, it's gone. If I ever get banned from YouTube, it's because I tried to get monetized.
So essentially what you're saying is if YouTube was to still allow you to use slurs and to be fatphobic and homophobic and racist, then you'd be okay with monetizing.
Absolutely, yes. As a proud, devout Republican who is pro-racism and pro-homophobia, if they would allow that, then of course I would monetize my videos. But the problem is the woke left has clearly taken over YouTube.com and has censored me, the poor Republican influencer. So therefore, I do not monetize my content.
That's true. They are very used to deplatforming these types of people. At this point in the video, we're just going to take a little brief pause, just so that the definition of the word satire can flash up on the screen for a lot of the people who are very much looking to end your whole career right now. If you don't read that and understand it, then get the fuck out, okay? Because it's depressing how many times I have to explain this to you bastards. Jesus Christ. Speaking of Jesus Christ, which is the one true God and why?
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Okay. The incorrect answer. The one true God is obviously Fluke Husky. But we can continue. It's fine. So obviously the style of content that you've got is very much a rip-off of mine, which is totally fine. It's okay. I understand that, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But in what ways are you better?
Well, thank you. Let me roll up in a ball and kiss my own ass and fluff my own ego. What is some stuff that I do?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, thank you. What's some shit that I do that you don't? You never made a call-out video for Congresswoman Nancy Mace, right? Like, that's something that I've done. You've never made a call-out video for Texas State Representative Stan Gerdes, right? The idea of, a furry guy on the internet beefing with literal politicians is really funny to me, which is why I keep doing it. And if you ever want to enter that sphere and steal from me the way that I have you, I encourage you to. It's fun. I got 12,000 views making fun of Representative Stan Gerdes. You should try it sometime.
So maybe that is something that's in our future. We can look at each other's videos and the kind of things that we're making and decide, you know what, let's just swap for one video project. So if I was to start attacking certain Republican representatives and certain politicians and make call-out posts on them, that would necessarily mean that you would be taking off your shoes and socks for clout, right?
Listen, if you want to see my feet, you can just tell me so, okay?
Okay, so there's going to be a little Twitter poll probably flashing up on the screen right about now, because there's a lot of things in this fandom that people like to eat, but their own words is the most hilarious version of those things. So,
I'm feeling that right now.
Because I've got that in 4K. So Georgio's feet coming soon, everybody. When it comes to the fandom and all of the things inherent within the fandom and all of the things that are going on and all of that stuff, right? Why?
Why what? Listen, so some people, after they fill out a mental health screening with their primary care physician, somebody asks them to take off all of their clothes and give them all of their belongings so that they can be dressed up in a blue gown and given socks with rubber stoppers on the bottom. And then they go into a psych ward, right? Mm-hmm. And then some people commission somebody for a fursuit, right?
Okay.
So there you go. There's your why. Is that kind of what you're looking for?
I guess. I was hoping for a little more social commentary, but you're not really known for that, so I understand. In terms of the actual fandom and the way things are going right now with certain people making call-outs, and the only real way that you can make a following these days is by, finding someone that generically people just don't like and deciding to attack them. What are the specific things that you hate about Book?
Oh, goodness me. What do I hate? I don't like gay people.
Okay.
Pretty sure he is one. What else don't I like? I hate bears.
Yep.
Even though I date one.
Mm-hmm. So
he gets a big fat X from me.
Okay.
Let me reverse back.
It's out there now. You can't just yeet your way out of that.
No, we were talking about call-out posts.
Okay.
Let's get real. Let's get real as shit right here.
We're getting real, folks.
I love making my silly call-out posts about state representatives, about Congress people, about the President of the United States. I think it's so much fun. You know how sad it looks when on the internet for clout, the gay dog people are fighting with one another? There was that whole fucking thing with the green doggy over here that hosts the party at the Texas Furry Conference, and then Boof the bear, Boof the poor little innocent twink over here being invited to the party. And now it's a thing about whose side are you on, and whose dick are you gobbling, and whose butthole are you sucking through a straw. Do you side with the green doggy, or do you side with the brown bear? And I made a joke about how this fandom is basically a psych ward. When you see beefs like that happening on Twitter, and people really trying their hardest to get people so angry about the fucking bear guy or the green doggy man for some likes on Twitter, that's the distillation of the psych ward, that is the people who narrowly pass the mental health screening when they should not have. You dig? I've never made a video on Boof, and boy am I so proud of that, because it means that at least I'm only putting tits in my thumbnails for clout. There is a floor. It can only get so bad on the Georgio YouTube page.
And I kind of respect that. I mean, it is kind of funny that we see, all of this really horrible shit happening with democracy, with different countries and in the world. And the thing that obviously you have to have an opinion about is some random guy. And that's the most important thing. Do you feel like maybe this is an indicative problem within the fandom itself, that they're almost using it as a distraction from reality to just target anybody? And I'm just going to make this out here. We're doing all of this as a joke. We don't honestly give two flying fucks about the Boof situation. It is what it is. But we're not going to start picking sides and shit.
Boof, come on my show. Let's have a debate.
Come on his show, come on his tits, whatever it takes.
Yeah, wait, what? Something
no,
about
he said
tits?
yes.
Listen, we can have a civil jubilee debate, Boof in Georgio, on the Georgio program, and it'll be great, right? The drama is all bullshit, like you kind of hinted at, you got people out here, what was it? People were trying to cancel Boof because he dates a cop or something like that, and people are trying to cancel X or Y or Z. It's so funny how we will, detailed cyber stalk furries on Twitter and detailed cyber stalk furries on YouTube for their political beliefs and shit. And it's if only you put that same level of effort into knocking on doors for some shit that you believe in or passing out pamphlets or whatever. But nobody does that. That's no fun. I don't get little clicks and little views from the silly gay people on the other side of the laptop screen if I actually try and stick up for some shit I propose to believe in. You know, it's way more fun to do the call-out posts.
I mean, yeah, it's essentially what people are looking for. Do you feel that there is a way out of this? I mean, turning communities against themselves so they don't actually go towards the real enemy, that's a point I've made in a lot of videos, but it seems something that this fandom of ours is stuck in. Do you see there being a way out of that, or are we all just inherently trapped to keep doing the same old shit over and over again?
I think there's a way, right? I think there's a way. And not to toot my own horn or suck my own dick.
About to do both.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm the way, folks. Listen, I don't just make videos about Stan Gerdes and Nancy Mace and MAGA and all of these right-wing influencers because it's fun and it gives me clicks. I do think it
doesn't. Yeah.
It doesn't. I do think it's fun. I see that my Stan Gerdes video is one of the most popular on my channel. But also, like, only if we talk about people who fucking matter are we gonna, like, accomplish any fucking thing. You know, like, we dislike Boof because we don't like the policing system. And Senator Boof needs to be impeached. The senator representing New York City we need to censure him on the Congress floor. Like, no. The guy doesn't fucking do anything, nor does his cute little cop husband, nor does any cancelable person have any real world impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you spend so much of your time and resources and energy making sure that Boof doesn't get into the Texas Furry Fiesta party, all that will change is that Boof will not be in the Texas Furry Fiesta party, and the rest of the world will stay exactly the same.
And that's a very important point to make. And I like the fact that I've found another furry YouTuber who makes important points, makes points that they believe in. How does it feel knowing that you can make all these points and absolutely no one gives two fucks because you're not fuckable enough, or you're not making generic content that's the only shit people really seem to go for?
Oh, you know, it's tough out here being a niche internet micro celebrity, right?
Emphasis on the micro. Yeah.
Yes. Macro, micro, whatever you want to say. Here's what gives me some confidence, right? There was one point in time where Donald Trump was polling 2% in the GOP primary. And now MAGA is a cult, right? Someday, I think there could be an Artemis Wishfoot cult. You know, CNN might be doing a piece on the Georgio cult a decade or two from now. So in short, what I'm saying is that vote for me in the Democratic primary in the year 2048, and then things will be better under the Georgio third-term dictatorship.
I mean, I quite like that, but that's assuming we ever get another democratic election in this country, obviously. So it's quite a lofty goal at this stage. But no, I agree with these points. I didn't think I was going to. It's kind of hard to take the piss out of you, but by golly, I'm going to try. Do you feel that as a mix of a white and blue dog, you're not only basic, but you're also, you know, predisposed towards a more MAGA right-centric view of the world?
Oh, God, I never thought about that. You know, like...
kind of mixing two evils there with this whole get-up right here. I mean, I'll accept the blue shit, but damn.
You ever notice how, like, the MAGA furries always have, like, the most generic characters?
I'm noticing that right now.
Like, shout out to Diesel Raccoon, right? Like, plain raccoon character, and also dabbles in conspiracy theories. You dig? I picked the wrong fucking getup, being the generic blue and white dog. There are probably, like, I bet you Stan Gerdes is a secret viewer of mine, right? Here's the real thing behind the white and blue dog.
Okay.
You see me, and you see my mustache, and you see my soul patch, right? Georgio is what happens to your first furry original character once you have forgotten about him like a Nintendogs inside of your DS and left him to rot for a decade, right? He gets a soul patch, and he grows a mustache, and he gets a beer belly, and he gets angry, and he rambles about politics, and it makes everybody uncomfortable. That is what this is.
And I respect that. I mean, if you're talking about politics, people are going to be uncomfortable regardless. If you're not getting uncomfortable, then you're not really having a conversation, are you? Do you feel uncomfortable right now?
I feel I've never felt more loved in my life. Sorry, fiance, if you're watching this video.
He's there.
Sorry!
Well, as a closing note, obviously this video has been quite intense with the journalism and whatnot, and I'm just going to say journalism. I don't think I've really earned that moniker, but fuck you. I'll say whatever I want.
No, you're Caitlin Collins, aren't you? This is the Caitlin Collins Georgio Town Hall live on CNN, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because CNN would totally carry me. But as a filthy foreigner and an immigrant, it's very nice of you to donate your time to get cancelled by being in my presence. Are there any things that you would like to plug going forward? You've already agreed to do feet pics without really meaning to, I feel, but again, got that in 4K. So is there anything else you need to plug before we end this? You know, pinch this turd off and flush it?
Listen, first of all, I said that if you wanted feet pics from me, you just had to say so. I didn't say I would take them. I just said that if you wanted them, you needed to tell me that.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to wiggle out of that one, but we'll enjoy watching you try.
I don't do anything other than YouTube. I am Smosh in the year 2008. If you want to see me, you go to YouTube land and you type in Georgio Furry, and I'm the first result. Go there, and the time that you could otherwise spend with your family and friends and loved ones, spend it watching me and listening to the things that I say. Why don't you do that? And while you're at it, spend the time that you could otherwise use saving your money or going to college, watching Artemis, because he is such a sweet little cutie pie for inviting me on this sofa to speak to him.
Well, I am physically incapable of taking a compliment, so I'm just going to have to respond sarcastically. But thank you. That's so nice of you. Again, if you enjoyed this video, which you fucking better have. If you didn't, I'm going to come to your house and physically assault you. Then you should definitely go and watch the interview that Georgio did. We were real original with the framing and the setup. It's totally not the same position on the same couch. But this one's in 4K and hopefully with better sound. We'll see. That might have fucked up. But hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the points that we were making. And I'll leave Georgio to say the final word as long as it's not a slur.
Later, cunts!
That's not a slur. We got away with it. Yeah!
If you want to see my feet, you can just tell